setup on the championship tour. Reaching for the lip line again is Owen Wright. Straight into a bottom turn. Belts it with authority.
Wow.
Owen's on fire into a backhand carve. Incredible form through those 3 hacks. Now looking to link up the inside track. Patient off the bottom. Nice steady arc. All he's got to do is stay on his feet. Big backhand hack with the airdrop. Owen Wright fights for the finish and he gets it. Incredible performance for Owen Wright. The goofy footers are going blow for blow. Kaipo Guerrero, what a way to start the day.
Get it on, bang a gong, get it on.
Oh, Kaipo's already hearing the bell. It's what a great sight to see Owen's form. Kaipo quickly comparing the conditions to yesterday to today. What are we seeing?
Yeah, the conditions are great. I mean, maybe even a bit more swell, I think. And it's just absolutely beautiful. We'll see if it handles the tide as the tide's filling in. But I'm thinking we're looking good.
Thanks so much, Kaipo. 5-5 start for Owen, then locked into this thing. And what a challenging end section. Was fired up when he rode out of that one, Laura.
Wow, yeah, he was so emotional when he got through that round of 32 yesterday.
And also cool to note, when your board's complete, there's actually still some finishing moments you could put on it.
I did not know that.
As we look at 20 minutes on the clock, Nat Young, hard off the bottom, big vertical through the lip. Setting up a big section, drills it. Pushing hard into that 3rd hack and controls the tail slide. What a brilliant start for Nat Young. Knew he needed a big score because Owen had the 8.67, so he's letting it all fly. This is that patience game where you know you have downtime. Hard off the bottom, tackles the finish, stays on his feet, open with a 4.5, built to a 6.87, and that'll be his best number so far.
Well, this is a great wave from Nat. What I like here is that Nat's not trying to oversurf it. He's still just sticking to his guns. Just really solid surfing. That snap there was brilliant. And again, I just love how tight these goofy footers can get up and off the lip. How square they come off the bottom. It's something that's unique to the backsiders out here at Bells. The natural footers, they have to kind of extend their turn, get out on the face. It's more horizontal surfing at times, but our goofy footers, they've got that ability to draw down deep into the bottom. And watch this, vertical hit off the top. Like Owen, that little tail slide. Looks like he's on a shorter board compared to Owen. But Nat just performing so well here. He's going through the motions with this event. He's certainly on.
Here comes Ethan Ewing. Using priority. Big power carve. Pushing hard through the lip. He jams it again. Flowing down the line, here comes Ewing's wrap. Looking to better a 5.33. And the man from Stratty's on a roll so far. Just looks great going straight down the line. Belts it. Whitewater section approaches and Ewing nails the finish. Some brilliant turns, some variety to start off wave number 3 for Ewing.
Love it. So on rail. Higher in the lip compared to what Jackson did. And then that turn there, that's the money one. That layback hack, just putting everything into it. Pushing his board to the absolute limit. And then gets the rail work all the way through the inside here as the wave starts to get a little bit slopey. It's this final section. Another little re-entry off the top and a foam hit to finish off. Complete ride. Surgical in his approach.
So clean. Yeah, I love this turn. Just picks the eyes out of the section and lays into it. Yeah, it goes so high. Look at those fins there. Throwing so much spray, the body twerk.
And then able to switch gears on the second effort on the best part of the wave ridge.
Yeah, watch how tight in the pocket he gets here. Pay attention to the back arm. All the weight is right on the tail pad, right there. Now he releases. The board gets flat. He re-engages the fins. On with show.
It's perfect surfing. out of radical sections. He's never fishing for his rail line. It was so smooth on those first two efforts, and he didn't really get a crazy wall on the end of that wave. That 8-point ride, the bulk of those points were because of his aggressive approach out the back.
Same thing for Morgan. He will always be able to talk about the two heats he surfed and won against John Florence. He has an opportunity in the next heat to claim a third victory over the two-time world champ, but he'll have his hands full. John's been on fire, as has this man, Toledo. The Brazilian starts off with a couple of big hits, already has a 7.57 in the bank, and he'll add to it with this ride. It's going to easily get rid of his throwaway score, the first wave of the heat. And he, again, is a guy that can actually really increase his heat score or wave score with a big finish on the inside. Well, everyone else is going to be looking for Toledo's ski because it seems to be a little bit quicker. But let's dive into the replays. This one came through in the excellent range based on the power and the precision that he executed on the outside.
Yeah, well, you know, what I called on that one was that I liked the fact that Toledo's going a bit deeper. He went for a medium-sized wave. He got two major manoeuvres on the bowl. That was the difference. And then, of course, this finish here is a softer finish by his standards. In the Toledo heat, that Morgan went, I've just got to push the envelope a bit harder. I've got to get above that lip line.
Well, let's see what Florence does here. First mission for him, get as much speed as possible before ripping into this big carve. Again, sets the rail so high in the face. Unbelievable back-footed jam on the second manoeuvre. So really did make the most of those two big sections on the outside, now flowing through to the inside. This guy is desperate to even up this head-to-head record with Morgan, and I think he wants to teach him a lesson here.
Wow. Well, John would have taken note. He would have taken note of the Ewing heat. He would have taken note of the Toledo heat, knowing that if you can get two major manoeuvres on that outside bowl, you're heading towards the excellent range, and he just nailed it.
But he has started with what should be an excellent score here.
Yeah, he just wraps it John style, the first wrap, and holds it through. This second one, Ronnie, absolutely such a high degree of difficulty in that manoeuvre. You know, anyone with any less confidence would have come unstuck right there.
Well, last time we were here at Bells Beach, Bugs, John went on an absolute tear on his way to victory. His average heat score for the contest was 16 points. That was brought down by a 13-point heat score total in the first round. But look at this. This is magic.
This is such magical John. No one holds it. You know, he's changed world surfing. When he started doing that at Margaret River, everyone had to change their entire approach. And you watch everyone now, they're trying to hold that rail right through the turn. But no one does it better. His lip work is unbelievable.
You know, John, when he's not at his most confident, he'll keep that backhand jam, that layback just below the lip on the outside.
Oh my gosh.
John Florence left in a great position, an empty lineup, and trying to get rid of a 6.67 to put Morgan Siblick potentially back in combination. What an opening turn. Off the bottom, into the pocket again. Loves that layback here on the Bells Bowl. Winds through a setup carve to get himself some momentum coming through to the inside. This wave's going to break before the shorey. Just so much momentum through this more dead section of the ride, but still has the speed to get a couple of big turns on the inside section. The body language suggesting that he loves it. The crowd eating up the performance of this reigning winner here at Bells Beach. And I mean, what can you do, Bugs? What can you do when you're up against a guy, you know, contest results aside, that this guy is considered the greatest surfer in the world at the moment. But when he finds that form that has people making those kind of claims with the jersey on, there's really not too much he can do.
Well, it's the same as when he started to, you know, do that at Margaret River, and he just went into his own level. I mean, he built a platform of excellence built on power. And this surfing here is unbelievable. This is just, and it's a variation on the layback. I mean, that's just phenomenal. And that's his first one opening up, and he goes into this second one. These second manoeuvres are putting him in the excellent range. They are just so phenomenal. how he uses the lip, how he uses the board under his feet, the layback, the power, and then he bursts out with Bells is a powerful way. With this performance today, it just didn't happen for the young guy. And John, wow.
So intent on obviously getting right up to the top end of the ratings. John's going to be leapfrogging a bunch of competitors on the leaderboard that fell out of the draw. So he's making his charge towards the final 5, a move that he doesn't want to leave too late, as he brings this one right through to the inside for another big finish there. The crowd making some noise, and certainly one of the favourites for the big crowd that's come here to watch the 59th edition unfold.
Taking a look at this one and driving down the line on a beautiful open face. Negotiating that first section with speed, and now locking into the power on that first big carve. Ducks into the cover-up, and he's going to come out. Digs that rail in on a big wrap back into the power. And a good-looking start for the Hawaiian. Goes for the snap layback. And now for the finishing section for Imai, and that is a way to start out a heat here at Bells, a round of 16. Shannon Hughes alongside the 1978 world champion Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew. And Rabbit, what a way for Imai to kick things off. And scores in for this, it's an 8.0, Rabbit.
Yeah, well, Imaikalani has to come from deep here, and that first snap just really lays it into it. Beautiful first snap. It comes around this section. Here's an opportunistic barrel. That's a clean little, just for a second, he was cleanly in that thing. And I was wondering how the judges would react to that. It's so rare to get a barrel at Bells, but on the offshore sometimes you can. And then he finishes it super fun. It just really ties it up here. This clean finish here. He just about loses it and has to, just maintain his balance really. An 8-point ride. What a great start.
And just putting all that pressure on Jack Robinson, as Jack's sitting out the back with priority, and Imai's just dropped in an 8.0. Kaipo, you got to see that from the lineup.
Yeah, Shannon. Look at. There was a lot of stuff going on even before that wave when we opened the heat. The set came through. Those guys saw the indicator, and Imai was able to get to on the other side of Jack Robinson to take possession.
And there we go. Jack Robinson's going to be on it now with 60 seconds on the clock. Imai's going to be out the back. The job for Jack now to increase that requirement on Imai and unleash on one of the best looking waves out of the Bells Bowl that we've seen all day. So much size. Great section opening up in front of Robinson, and he lays back on the finishing turn. What a performance. The wave selection between those two coming through the back, Rabbit. Jack Robinson definitely taking off on the better of the two, and now the question will lay on Imaikalani deVault. All right, what are your thoughts on this one, Rabbit?
Yeah, it's a pretty solid ride. Those first turns are, just good, solid carving turns. Nothing outrageous, but he rode it well. It moves off the bowl section. He goes into a series of cutbacks. Look at this layback there he does at the end. Oh, yeah. That's a finishing move.
Bronte with priority, and Tyler had a bit of a look at the wave. She was sizing it up, but not sure it would have been any easier for Bronte to get around that section, even if it didn't come down where Tyler was sitting. But here goes Tyler right now, moving through to the inside, whips that tail around, hangs on the rail for a moment, and now stands back and patiently waits for the wave to stand up again. Doing well with the end sections at the moment, Tyler. It's kind of tricky in there right now. A lot of reverb coming off the steep beach here at Bells.
Always one of the hardest finishing sections on the tour.
Around 60% of the time she'll go on to crack the semis and has a pretty good strike rate there of cracking finals. But here we go, a replay of that last ride.
So a committed turn to start off for Tyler. And she'll go to that trademark layback hack time and time again because she knows it gets good points. I like that one. I really liked it. When she just loses the tail a little bit. Starts to get a bit freer.
Yeah, one of
finishes well.
the real strengths that Tyler has, Rich, is the variation that she possesses on the forehand. We'll be getting control of her breath here and just trying to gather herself for what's to come, because it feels like she's still going to be chasing that big number as Tyler looks to get rid of the 6.33. Couple of big turns on the outside. There's that variation that Rich was touching on earlier on. The ability to swing that tail around. It's a real point of difference when everyone else is throwing carves, to be able to drift those fins a little bit. Almost pushing aboard to the point of release a couple of times there as she rolls now through to the inside, climbs up into the lip, sends a bit of spray up into the sky, and a nice floating move to finish there. That was right on the beach, and we haven't seen much of that kind of celebration from Tyler before. She's feeling it out there at the moment.
Yeah, she is, and she should be feeling it too. Great surfing, confident. Way down the beach there. Almost at the paddle out behind Winky Pop.
Of the surfers on tour, she's the third most winning on 14 CT victories.
Committed snap on the first one and the second one. Just getting that release through the second turn. Roundhouse cut back into the foam, and another one. Just leaning on those rails, confidently hits that section, and then the closeout re-entry to finish off right on the sand. Then the emotion comes out.
Thinking about what we've seen so far from the women on the outside section here at the bowl, this was a refreshing approach. Really different. A lot of variety in those first two turns, and they were high-risk manoeuvres, Rich, on a steep wall.
It was done on the biggest wave of the heat so far, and that's what the true champions do. If you want to ring this bell, you need to attack, and you need to attack every section.